Well, life was looking pretty good for Anne-Marie. With a few years left to work, she was looking forward to her retirement. If only she hadn't met notoriously corrupt real estate agent Sarah Dougan.
My life will never be the same because of this.
She's here tearing people to pieces with absolutely no conscience whatsoever.
Anne-Marie Barkay knows what it takes to grind out a living. A gardener by trade, she has earned everything by getting her hands dirty.
20 years of hard work, working out in the sun, sweating my guts out. You know, weeding and mowing and, you know, cleaning people's gardens.
Good boy. Now in her 60s, this lovable Queenslander should be easing off the pedal and enjoying her surroundings.
Love the water, don't you, darling?
But she is broke. And like so many other victims, she blames out-of-control and corrupt real estate agent Sarah Dougan.
She's a greedy, selfish human being and should be put away because she doesn't care about anybody.
How's life in LA for you? Pretty good? Dougan is the former Bell property agent who fled Australia. We exposed her after tracking the 34-year-old down in Los Angeles earlier this year. You want to tell us why you left Australia? The Sydney-sider fled the country after declaring herself bankrupt for a staggering $30 million. She left behind a trail of financial and emotional destruction across most parts of Australia. She's accused of obtaining massive bank loans in other people's names by forging their signatures. Nick Varikios says he was a victim.
All those loans went through Sarah Dougan's office.
She's since set up another property group in LA called Simsera, and now we can reveal she's up to her dirty tricks yet again.
She essentially tried to sell my building before she owned it. She was running a scam.
Steve Calabro says he was approached by Dougan to buy his $1.4 million property near the famous Venice Beach. But this rogue, who's been branded a serial fraudster, convinced someone else she owned the property and took a deposit for the sale.
She signed the acceptance of the offer. She didn't even own my building. She's a horrible person.
And Mr. Calabro adds that Dougan also rented out 2 rooms without his knowledge just to get her hands on some cash.
This is LA. This is filled with people that are trying to be something that they're not really. Sarah is really good at it. She gets an Academy Award for scams.
Dougan remains the focus of a police investigation in Australia over her activities. While she was the principal at Bell Property in Byron Bay, more than $600,000 disappeared from the agency's trust account, and Dougan is a key suspect. Now, those trust accounts hold deposits for home buyers and holiday lets, so authorities come down pretty hard on crooks who fleece families of that money. Just last month, LJ Hooker agent Patrick Scott was jailed for at least a year for stealing $800,000 from a trust account to support his gambling habit.
It wasn't easy money.
And Sarah took it like that?
Just like that. And I'm 62. I can't do that again.
Anne-Marie was duped by Dougan into investing her money into a Byron Bay property. For her $185,000 investment, the return looked pretty good.
The first month I got $9,250, and as soon as I got that, she rang me and said, "Now come on, Annie, we'll get my valuer up there and we'll go to the bank and you can borrow another $700,000 and then you can invest that $700,000 with me."
Anne-Marie resisted Dougan's bait.
I just said, no, let's just see how this goes. I said, I'm already nervous enough with this without going any more.
But then her money simply disappeared, and suddenly Dougan wouldn't take her calls. Her life savings were gone.
How she could do that to somebody when she knows that that's all they've got and how hard it works. She doesn't care.
No.
She doesn't care about anybody or anything.
Anne-Marie says she was staggered to find out that Dougan was up and running once again, this time in LA. What would you like to see happen to Sarah Dougan?
I'd like to see her got hold of and jailed but I'd allow a half an hour with her before they lock her up.
Can't blame her, can you? And for the record, Sarah Dougan phoned us today offering herself up for an interview. She's yet to agree to a time, but we will certainly take her up on that offer.